So if we are talking about the elections, Bihari elections, why can how can we leave Mr. Tejasvi Yadav out from this talk, from this equation? He is the heir of Lalu Prasad Yadav's legacy. Okay, people who supported Lalu Prasad Yadav, they look at him, they think that he will be as able of a politician as Lalu Prasad Yadav was. Now just check like how many elections has he won. The last one he lost, this one he lost. Before that, he won on the legacy of Lalu Yadav. He is not as charismatic. There are two brothers, both are fighting with each other. What is he offering? What is he offering? He is not able to say that I will slash the bad things that my father had in the party. He is not able to say that. He is not able to show to the public of Bihar that he is different from his father. That everything that was good in his father, he is carrying that, and everything that was bad in his father, he is going to remove that from the party, or remove that from the political culture of his party. He's not able to do that. The RJD is today, after the 2 days result, the RJD on his last legs. They are not able to win elections. Okay, the last election was the peak of Tejasvi Yadav's career. The last election that happened in 2020, that was the peak of RJD's and Tejasvi Yadav's career. I don't think they will get that chance again. Last election came close because the BJP wanted to become the largest party inside the NDA. So they fielded some candidates from the LJP, the Paswan's party, against the JDU to make sure that JDU loses some seats and BJP becomes the biggest party in Bihar. So they barely touched the winning mark, and that was hailed as a master stroke by the people, that Tejasvi Yadav is such a shrewd politician. He can win Bihar. We can see the image of Lalu Prasad Yadav in the face of Tejasvi Yadav. And what now? Where are those people who bragged about Tejasvi Yadav so much? Where are those people now? Actually, in the media, nobody has the accountability. They can say anything today, and next day they will be proved wrong. They will be proved wrong by the election results or by some other incident, and they won't even say sorry. They will just make a next prediction. That is a good thing when you're working in the media. If you are working in somewhere, let's say in trading or some investing, and you make wrong prediction, that is a career ending move. In media, you can make wrong predictions on daily basis, and nobody is going to fire you from your job. In politics also, if you make the wrong move, you lose the elections, you lose the money, you lose the support of the people, your MLAs leave you, your party members leave you. So there is a cost of making the wrong decision when you are in the politics. And I think that is going to happen with RJD. I'm not sure what is the calculation of Congress in Bihar. They are not reinventing themselves. They are not thinking beyond fighting without RJD. They think that if they want to come to power in Bihar, they have to hold the hands of RJD. They are not confident enough to go without the RJD in the polls. You can say the same thing about BJP, but at least BJP is winning. So the combination in which they are right now, that is winning. It is getting fruitful. It is fruitful combination for BJP. The same thing you cannot sad about the Congress. They are losing every election in Bihar, whether it is Lok Sabha election or Vidhan Sabha election. They are losing. And there is no hope that the next election they are going to win. There is no hope like that. Same with the communist. Communist, though, we should not talk about the communist people. They have been thrown out from Tripura, they have been thrown out from West Bengal. The only stronghold they have right now is in Kerala. And they don't see themselves as a future in Bihar politics, so we can discount them. But I'm talking about Congress. Congress is a national party. They should think how they are going to win in Bihar. How can they win in Bihar? They should think about this. There is no way that without reinventing they can project themselves as the leaders in the Bihari politics. They cannot do that. Until when you are going to hold hands of RJD? At least BJP has some plan. They think that when Nitish Kumar dies, then the voters of JDU will come back to BJP, and then BJP will be going to win the elections without the JDU support, or even if they take the JDU support, JDU will be a like a smaller party in their coalition, and they won't have to give the chief ministership to JDU people. But there is no calculation, there is no plan from the Congress side. They're not even thinking about this. They just want to piggyback the RJD. That if you can win, just then please take us also with you. That is how you. That is not a way to fight any election. Okay, just think about the big states right now in India. West Bengal, do you see Congress anywhere? It is the fourth largest party. Fourth largest, not second largest, not largest. It is the fourth largest party in West Bengal. First is TMC, second is BJP, third are communist, and fourth is Congress. Bihar, they are again the fourth largest party in Bihar. Fifth largest, sorry. Maybe seventh largest right now. The first one will be BJP, the second is RJD, no, second is JDU, third is RJD, fourth is Chirag Paswan party, fifth is I think the Jitan Ram Manji's party, and I think on sixth or seventh you can find Congress. So West Bengal is over, Bihar is over. Now come to UP. They are fourth largest party in UP. So three largest states you cannot find Congress anywhere. In Tamil Nadu, again they are third or fourth largest party. Five states, five biggest states, and you cannot find Congress anywhere. Same with Andhra Pradesh. Okay, the seats, the elections they can win either in Punjab or in Kashmir, both are small states. Haryana they can win, again a small state. Delhi, no, they are not going to win. They can win in MP, large state. Maharashtra, again they are like a third or fourth largest party in Maharashtra. So again, I'm not sure how much they can win in Maharashtra. Madhya Pradesh they can win, Rajasthan they can win. Himachal, again a small state, they can win. So they are not having the firepower that you need to win elections. They are not having that. And I'm not sure what Rahul Gandhi is thinking. What is the plan of Rahul Gandhi? He's making coalitions with these dynastic parties. He's himself a dynast, but again he's making the coalition with this dynast in UP, in Bihar, and these parties are not winning the elections. Akhilesh Yadav won last election in 2012. After that, you can say, yeah, he performed good in 2024 Lok Sabha election, but that was a good performance. That was not the winning election. Okay. Tejasvi Yadav is not going to win in Bihar. So, what is your plan? How are you going to move ahead? Is there any plan? You cannot win India just based on the Rajasthan or MP or Himachal. And even then, when it comes to the Lok Sabha, winning one seat in MP is like a too big of a task for Congress. One seat in MP, they can in Madhya Pradesh. They cannot win even one seat in Madhya Pradesh. That is a too big of a task for Congress. Himachal Pradesh, they are not going to win even a single seat in Himachal Pradesh. And these are the states where Congress does well when it comes to this Vidhan Sabha or these local elections. They are not going to win seats in Gujarat. We are forgetting about Gujarat. They were in power in Gujarat 27 years back. Since then, they have not came back to power. Can you imagine? 27 years back, they came to power. And after this 5 years that BJP won in, I think, 2023, BJP won in Gujarat, 22 maybe, yeah. So after this 5 years stint, it will be close to 32 years that they have come to power in Gujarat. So I'm not. So Gujarat is over for them. Maharashtra is over for them. West Bengal is over for them. UP is over for them. Bihar is over for them. Tamil Nadu they cannot win without the Dravidian support. Andhra they cannot win. They are winning and fighting in the small states, and the largest state that they do good actually is Karnataka. That's all. Karnataka is the state where they can, which is a large state, and they can make their own government. And sometimes Rajasthan, that's it. Rajasthan and Karnataka, that's it. Otherwise, every state is a small state. Be it Telangana, be it Himachal, be it Punjab, be it Haryana. Haryana also, when this term ends of BJP, it will be close to 15 years that they have came to power. Can you imagine 15 years in Haryana? And Haryana used to be a bastion of Congress. Telangana, they will lose this time. Telangana, of course, they will lose this time. Karnataka, they will lose this time. And I'm not seeing their hope in winning Rajasthan or Gujarat. That is not going to happen. So they are just going down and down and down. Without any plan. Okay, Tejasvi Yadav is bringing the Yadav votes. Okay, Muslims are going to come to the RJD because it has the largest vote bank of Yadavs, and if Muslim come to that party, then it is a winning combination. Sometimes it is a winning combination. So they are going to automatically come to the RJD because they want to be against the BJP. Correct? So Yadavs are the vote bank of RJD. Muslims are going to come anyway. What are you bringing to this equation? What is your appeal? You are not bringing the youth, you are not bringing the women, you are not bringing anybody. What is your appeal? Like, why should anybody have you in their coalition? You just get the seats and you do not perform well on those seats. What is your appeal? Please tell us. People want to know what is your appeal. Why do you want to get 40, 50 seats for election fight while you are not able to win even two seats? What are you bringing to the table? What you are bringing to the coalition? And the answer is zilch. You are not bringing anything. Even if the BJP do not have any points to counter RJD argument, they can just point out to you. They can point out to the government that you are running in Karnataka. If you promise anything in Bihar, they will say, okay, you are not able to complete your promises in Karnataka, so how we are going to believe that you will complete those promises in Bihar? So you are just bringing the baggage. At least Tejasvi Yadav can say that I am not in power since last 15 years, so I cannot do anything. There's no there's no baggage of doing something for Bihar because he is outside of the political power since last 15 or 20 years. But you are in the power in few states. So people see your governance and they do not find any extraordinary thing that you are doing in those states. It does not You are not doing anything in those states so that you can hype that work and get the votes in Bihar or in any election for that matter. Okay, I want to ask the supporters of Congress, could you please tell us what are they doing in Karnataka which is so out of the world that people are going to forget about the communal politics of BJP and then they are going to flock to the Congress to vote? Is there anything that they are doing in Karnataka right now? Is there anything they are doing in Himachal? Are you seeing any uh, positive this maybe some infrastructure that they are building in Himachal, or they are doing something extraordinarily uh, in education or in healthcare or in any sector for that matter? Are they doing any good work in those states? You can say okay, BJP is not doing the good work, but at least they are selling you the Hindutva politics. They are selling you the identity politics. You do not have the identity politics with you, and you also do not have the work to show. So if the both parties are stupid, both parties are not doing anything, at least one is selling them the Ram Mandir, one is selling them the hate against the Muslim. What are you selling? What is your recipe? USP, sorry, I got too excited. What is your USP? Why should anybody vote you? It is not, you can win one or two elections just by saying that we are not BJP. But who you are? Who you are? How are you different from BJP? Give me 5 to 10 points that you are different from BJP. Or every time you think that okay, the hate against the Muslims is going to down, then some terror attacks happen. Okay, and you can't even blame the BJP for terror attacks because we all know that the BJP is not in power in Pakistan or in Afghanistan and terror attacks are happening there. And we all know that when they were not in the power in Delhi before 2014, there used to be terror attacks. So you cannot blame BJP for the terror attacks, okay? You can blame them for lynching. You can blame them for the hate on social media. You can blame them for the hate on TV screens. People will buy that. But you cannot blame them for the terror attacks because the terror attacks keeps happening even when they are not in power. So whenever somebody says that okay, all Muslims are not terrorists and all this, how can you make the same kind of argument again and again and again? And people are you think that people are going to buy that same argument again? How many times you can say that all Muslims are not terrorists for like five terror attacks? 50 maybe you can say. But at the 51 they will think maybe maybe BJP is right. Maybe BJP is correct. And I am not, and I am on your side. I am on your side. But what are your arguments other than that all Muslims are not same? Without the fatigue, how many times can you sell this argument that all Muslims are not same? You cannot use same argument again and again and again. You have to work, you have to find new arguments, you have to make sure that if they are facing if Muslims of India are facing the hate, you have some solution to that. It is a lazy thing to make the same argument again and again. You cannot do that, and if you are doing that, it is not going to yield result for you. It is not going to work every time. When people die, they do not think rationally. 13 people died in the just recent terror attacks in Delhi. People do not think rationally. They find the scapegoat. They find the group or person to blame. So this argument that all Muslims are not like same or like terrorists are not terror do not belong to Islam and all that. These are old arguments. Bring something new. You you brag about that you care about the minorities in India. You are not even caring about them. Where are your intellectuals? Where are your spokesperson who are fighting against this hate?